Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So, you probably can't tell, but it's actually a bit darker today. So today we're talking about 2 episodes from the original run of Star Trek: The Next Generation. In this case, we're talking about the episode Haven and The Long Goodbye. Let's talk about the first episode, which is Haven. So Haven was an episode involving Diane Troy. She ends up having to, she ends up going back to her home planet, where she meets Mom and dear old Mom and dear old Dad, and they basically said, hey, you gotta get married. And all along the way, there is a disease from another ship that could be spreading. So, I gotta say, the idea, there's always, arranged marriages in media are always, done, whether it's for the man or the woman. Heck, there was even an original episode of Star Trek, the original Star Trek, where Spock said, hey, you gotta get married, and all that. So it's always pretty interesting when they do episodes involving women in, arranged marriages. So, I gotta say, this one is actually pretty good. The times when we get the dramatic moments are pretty good. I gotta say that, the alien designs, the fact we get some more details about, Diana Troy's, her, the fact, her whole, planet can, the mind stuff, I can read into your head and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. I gotta say her mom is a pretty entertaining character. She can be a little bit funny. And it's also pretty cool in the fact that, hey, Riker, he's sort of, almost like a hand on there. They said, hey, I see what you're going through, and I'm sorry about this. And, yeah, I gotta say, this episode can be kind of entertaining. Especially because, the whole, arranged marriages. That's usually done a lot, so it's fairly intriguing. Especially when it's on Star Trek, because, you feel a certain time in societies, in, 21st or 22nd centuries, all that sort of stuff would be, gone. It wouldn't be, used anymore, so they say. And then when it is used, you feel oh, probably for, nobilities and all that, peace trees and all that stuff. So we have that. And, overall, I gotta say, this one's actually an interesting episode, especially since, since it's only season 1 of The Next Generation, you get some more, backstory for Diana Troy. So, not a bad episode. So, second episode, which is The Long Goodbye. The Long Goodbye is sort of Star Trek meets noir. And I gotta say, this one is actually not bad. And especially because, to be honest, I like crime noir.
The third man, hated by 1,000 men,
desired by one woman.
I'll probably talk about it eventually. I can't remember what it is right at the moment, I'm sorry, but it's one of my favorites. But this one actually has, a lot of, the Maltese Falcon and all those sort of, films. And that, you have, the big mafia guy.
Kill a woman.
On Star Trek.
His name's Red Block or something like that. Basically in that, what happens in the episode, Picard, Data, and also Beverly Crusher, they all get stuck in the holodeck of a 1940s, like say, New York gangster era, and they're all just trying to, like, just like living a fantasy. But one thing that happens is basically a storm or something like that causes like a accident, which makes it like say, okay, now everything that's gonna be happening in this thing, you could actually get pretty hurt.
Give me the gun.
Trapping them in a real-life murder mystery.
So yeah, that concept is actually pretty cool. And like, but the holodeck was used in, say, Encounter at Farpoint, like, it's more a stream, but forest and all that stuff. So yeah, this idea of like, say, history, going for mystery and all that. It was also the holodeck. It also appears in Star Trek First Contact as well. So yeah, we have that bit of detail. So yeah, I actually gotta say it was pretty interesting, especially when you have like, say, noir concepts in Trek. It works pretty well, and yeah, especially like, say, when you have like Beverly Crusher, wouldn't really think of her in like, say, a noir story, especially for a nurse, and I guess it's actually pretty cool. It's Data like being like, it comes just like, say, I'm from a different continent, like say, yeah, I've got a skin condition or something like that. And yeah, like say, like the actors playing the gangsters and all that stuff, they actually, all the actors in this episode do a pretty great job. It's fairly entertaining. While it's going on, Riker is put in charge of trying to figure out a bit of resolve a conflict. And I gotta say, that is great bit of character development in the fact, like, say, hey, eventually Riker is going to have to face a conflict where he is put in charge of the captain's seat. So yeah, I gotta say, this episode is both these episodes are pretty entertaining. I enjoy the long goodbye and the fact that, it has like a noir ideal. I actually like noir, so yeah. Like say, when it comes to noir, the music, the colors, like say, the costumes. This one has great costuming designs. The acting is very good. The theming and all that's pretty good. But I'll talk to you later. Pretty good episodes. See you next time.